Hey everybody, an all-new edition of Craft Root Sports starting up here in just a minute. This week, we are drinking Loud Pack from Blackstack Brewing in St. Paul, Minnesota. This is an 8.3% ABV beer. Here's what Tavor had to say about this one. They said it's fresh squeezed orange juice and tangy tangerine, along with just a hint of dank melon and sticky purple kush. They went on to say that if Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong worked together at an orange juice stand, it would smell a lot like Loud Pack Imperial IPA. 4.37 caps on Untapped. Scott, we're going to do this week on the Kanye West scale. Kanye West, a very short run for president. He announced it on July 4th, has already dropped out of the race.
Not short enough.
Let's do it on the Kanye West scale. From the new workout plan to touch the sky, where do you rate Loud Pack?
I'm going to give this a solid Jesus walks because it's got me feeling the Holy Ghost. It's damn good right out of the gates. That orange juice and citrus flavor. Remember our OJ IPA?
Yes.
The one that had it poured right in. It
Yes.
was like brewed with the OJ. Oh, it reminds me of that. And that was a very good night for beer. So I'm putting this at a high Jesus walks right now.
Very solid rating out of the gate from Scott. Drew, on a scale of the new workout plan to touch the sky, where do you rate Loud Pack from Blackstack Brewing?
I'm going to go with The Good Life. And that's one of my favorite Kanye West joints. So that should say a lot. I really hope it lives up to that as we, work through our way through this beer. But so far, it's delivered. I love that smell. It makes me feel all right. We going to be living the good life tonight. Come on and join us, folks.
Way to bring that in, Drew. I'm proud of you on that one. I am going to go with Get 'em High. Solid out of the gate. It's a banger. I like it. It's one of my favorite IPAs that I've tasted in a long time. And we will see how this one holds up. Feel free to chime in below. Let us know what you guys are drinking. Rated on the Kanye West scale from new workout plan all the way to touch the sky. An all-new edition of Craft Root Sports. Oh, my God. Good Lord, guys.
Sorts.
Starting off great. Starting off great.
Well, we're starting now.
Wonton.
All right, everybody, it is Wednesday night. It is time for another edition of Craft Root Sports. I am Mike. With me, as always, is Scott. Scott, how you feeling tonight?
Feeling good. Feeling great. How are you?
I am fantastic, man. We're like 2 weeks away from baseball, bro. And so far, looks like it still is going to happen. Drew also hanging out. Drew, how you feeling tonight, man?
Oh, I'm so excited for today. I mean, we got some delicious, tasty beers here that we're rating on one of the best scales I think Mike's come up with recently since he's been doing that. So I'm looking forward to the show tonight. Looking for all this great quality content we bring it at you on this beautiful Wednesday in July. What up?
I gotta be honest, I'm a little disappointed that you guys did not skewer my scale like normal. Like, you guys are actually okay with the rating scale on this one. Nobody came
No, we
through
already talked about that as in text. I think it's offensive that you have Kanye's workout plan at the bottom. That is not his worst song by a country mile. I can't think of one that is popular enough that people would not like it, but if that's one of the least popular songs, you're wrong, sir.
See, Scott, I think that's where you're off. You're assuming that Mike understands how to make a rating scale. I think he just figures out who he's going to do, and then he picks two topics from that subject. You know what I mean? Like, let's go back to the Saved by the Bell. Like, Screech wasn't mentioned at all.
Screech shouldn't be mentioned, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He's the worst character on that show.
You're crazy.
Terrible porn.
Screech is not the worst character on that show. And also, the new workout plan is one of the worst songs that Kanye has ever done. It's so annoying. I can't stand that song. It is.
Eat your salad, no dessert.
And you just gonna stop right there? Actually, that's good though. Copyright infringement. I appreciate that, Scott.
Yeah, way to
just
hold it
drop
back.
I don't want to get us shut down before the show gets going, baby.
This is Craft Root Sports. We got a ton to get to
We
tonight.
got great stuff tonight.
We are going to do a little Would You Rather. It's been a while since we've asked a Would You Rather question of the crowd, so we are going to do our own version of Would You Rather tonight. We are also going to do...
Nothing can go wrong when we ask for comments from the crowd, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing at all.
We are also going to do a segment that was suggested to us from our friend Chris Bizcuit. He asked us about some quantum leap, so we're going to do that, and we're going to talk some bubble bursting and what we would do to burst the bubble. Before we get to any of that, though, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Dugout Mugs. It is time for On Deck, everybody, and On Deck is brought to you by Dugout Mugs. All you got to do, head on over to dugoutmugs.com/craft. You will get 15% off your entire order. Drink from a bat, just like we do here on the show. It's fantastic. It's a good time. Order now so that it gets here before the season starts up. That way, when you're watching baseball, when it comes back, you can drink from a bat and feel like a real fan.
Sir. How dare you? Are you trying to get me riled up?
I don't know what you're talking about, Scott. I have no idea what you're talking about. Dugoutmugs.com/craft. 15% off your entire order.
Sell out.
All right, let's see. This week in On Deck, I think we're going to have Scott lead us off. I'm pretty sure, right?
Ricky Henderson 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, you're going to go. Let's go with you to lead us off, Scott. You are on deck. Coming to us live from the bubble.
Yep, I'm outside the NBA bubble trying to get in with one of these hoes. I mean, professional NBA players.
Yeah, they're already in the bubble, so good luck.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I was trying to sneak in with one of them. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to be a group. I'm trying to be a groupie, not get with the groupies. But yeah, so this week's story is fantastic because racism is finally being put in its place. And it doesn't matter how old you are, at least for West Midland police, a 12-year-old boy got arrested for sending racist tweets to winger Wilfred Zaha. He plays in the Premier League. Doesn't matter. All I know is that a 12-year-old boy got arrested for sending racist tweets. And I just want to applaud the police there for doing their job. But I got to say, this has got to move to the Call of Duty servers next. There any first-person shooter out there, because there are 12-year-olds out there right now, right as we have this podcast, right as I'm speaking these words, they're out there screaming and dropping N-bobs and saying they're gonna fuck your mom and doing all sorts of shit that they know they otherwise wouldn't do if they were face-to-face with you. And if cops started arresting those little punk-ass bitches, I could get back on there and actually be good at the game, because those bastards who have all the hours to put in those games, those kids, wouldn't be there anymore. So cops continue to fight the good fight.
Where was this at that it's illegal to be racist? Like, what crazy country is this? That was the craziest thing to me. I was like, wait, it's
England,
illegal to be racist? Okay.
Racism's illegal in England, don't you know?
Can we pass some of those laws over here?
Pressed send and thought he was going to be okay, and then cops just show up at his door. Could you imagine explaining that to your parents? Yeah, I sent a racist tweet.
Wait, who'd he send the tweet to again? I forgot that.
Wilfred Zaha.
That's closer, but Wilfred Zaha.
Zaha, who cares? I stand with him. I stand with him. He's black, and I stand with those police.
I stand with the guy that I can't pronounce.
Yeah. The best part about it is too is like when people are racist in England, like as an American, it's hard to even understand what the hell they're saying. So like when I heard about that, I was like, oh,
well, okay. So this is what I'm wondering, because this was the country that Romelu Lukaku, was that his name? Where they sang that
Romelu Lukaku.
No, but that's not how the song goes. That's not how the song goes.
Yes,
wait, but in the song they don't say Lukaku. They say Lukaku.
Because in the song it rhymes better that way.
That's what I'm going off of. But they're talking about like very racial stereotypes. Nobody got arrested for that. Is that just not racist? That's just stereotypical.
No,
is that what that
different. It's not a stereotype. Dude's got a massive dong because he scores important goals and takes care of business inside the 18. You dumbass.
But he also probably has a massive dong. So I mean, again, is it like that big of a deal? There's a difference between somebody dropping an N-bomb on you and saying, man, you've got a huge dick. I'd be like, well, thank you, sir.
Dominate the EPL like he did, and then be one of the best strikers Belgium's ever seen without having a massive set of balls and a stick to go with it.
Jenny on my case already saying she's disappointed in me for not being able to pronounce.
Dude
his
couldn't
name.
pronounce
Wait,
what?
hang on.
Expect him to
In my defense, in the song,
Wonton Like, I get it, Mike. They're delicious, tasty appetizers. I've always got wontons on the mind personally. But
Also, Matt Barr giving me shit for the scale, saying it's a terrible scale and I should just pick a random new Kanye song for worst, which we did talk
you
about.
really think that's not what Mike did?
No, Scott and I did talk about this. Anything from the most recent gospel album could be listed as the worst song, but I also didn't want God to smite me, so I was just like, nah, we'll go with something else. We're gonna pretend like that album didn't exist.
But I was gonna say I straight up never even bothered listening to that crap.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Although honestly though, Mike, if you really wanted to set it up right, what you would have done is you would have picked random Kanye song at the bottom and just called it that. Just didn't even bother giving it a name. Just insert Kanye song here because everyone has their own different opinions about it.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Just pick your worst song, and that's fine. And also, Robert Taylor wanting his thanks for the shares. Thank you, Robert Taylor. Appreciate it. Everybody else should be sharing out the show, too. Help us out. Drew, you on deck. Charge.
Go.
All right. Well, like we've talked about once or twice before on this show, the NCAA is back at it again. In these unprecedented times, they yet again find amazing ways to be their worst or best self, depending on who you are. So they announced actually just earlier today a waiver for bowl eligibility, which to me, I was like, oh, you know what? That makes sense. We're probably not going to have as many games. They probably want to adjust it. If you go conference play, I want to say that's like maybe 8 games or so, something like that. So maybe they back off the 6 wins required to down to 4 or something and kind of just make sense of it all. Well, lo and behold, of course, the NCAA couldn't even get that shit right. So what they went and did is they said that to get to your 6 wins for bowl eligibility, they will allow you to account 2 wins against second-tier FCS division schools. Let that sink in for a moment. Let's just let that bake and think about what this really is. When we consider the fact that the Big Ten, the Pac-12, I don't think the ACC has come out yet, but, Swarbrook has said that, he's expecting it to come out any day now, that they're doing conference-only play. And so, again, the number of games they play are going to be limited. So what did the NCAA, in effect, do here, children? That's right. They once again showed their SEC bias. So those dumbass motherfuckers in the South can continue to play their conference games and realize, you know what? Let's be honest here. Ole Miss ain't going to get to 6 wins in conference. Let's give them a way to still get it outside here so we can dominate bowl season and be able to puff our chests out and say, that's right, SEC, we're the best conference in the nation because we have all these bowl wins. So, again, the NCAA doing what they going to do, patting the backs, bending over and taking it from the behind with Mr. Well, I was going to say Les Miles, but that's right. They even ran his ass out of there. Nick Saban country, just at it again. Doing what they do best, dominating, quote unquote, college football by making sure they can get all these red.
Sir, it is Lane Kiffin country.
Yeah.
Correct yourself. It is Lane Kiffin country.
Well,
Lane Kiffin now
right.
runs
My
the show.
apologies.
Mike
My
Leach,
apologies.
close second.
Yeah, I was going to say Mike Leach is his co-pilot.
Just because it's, those two are.
Saban is on his way out,
Yeah,
son.
yeah.
He's
This is
old
the
guard.
new generation, homie.
Yeah, 'cause they're
okay.
going to get to training camp and Saban's asking to catch COVID like that.
This is new Sprite, bitch.
So here's what I want to know, though. Is the SEC not going to announce conference only then? Because
Why
if
would they? COVID ain't real. You heard Joe West.
that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Joe West. the hero.
Really, what it is, it's a thinning of the herd, right? That's how they seen it down there.
we got to keep the economy open. Pew, pew.
That's right.
All
We
right.
get
So
ourselves some good linemen out this. Let's get rid of all those weak nerds that be wanting us to do stuff.
on its face, this kind of makes sense because it's like, okay, if all these conferences are going to conference only, you have to fill out your schedule somehow. So play an FCS team and they get a payday, you get a game. So I kind of get where the spirit of this is, but I'm like, do we really have to let them have 2?
Riddle me this, Batman. How does this actually provide any help to anyone who's not in a conference?
Since when did this bitch get to be Batman?
I was just thinking, like, from the Notre Dame side of, like, look, if no conferences are going to play us, then let's just load up on some FCS teams, go 12-0, and be like, we got.
Try to play dumb because that's your shtick on this show, but we've talked separately about how Notre Dame's already absorbed into the ACC. So if ACC goes conference only, Notre Dame goes with them. So nice try. This only screws over, I think, like Navy, that one other school, and St. Thomas More. And like, who really gives a shit about those clubs?
Dude, St. Thomas More, that's a wild story. This team, I don't know if you heard about this one, Scott. The NCAA announced today that St. Thomas More is going from D3 to D1. Like, they're making a
St.
jump.
Thomas More, I mean just St. Thomas, the one that's up in Wisconsin or whatever.
Minnesota. They're in Minnesota. Yeah.
I mean, same difference, right? Like,
it doesn't matter.
It's white people cheese country.
Okay, so you think this is a big deep state thing from the NCAA to help the SEC?
No, deep state would mean it's a conspiracy. Like, these cracker asses are just straight out there with it.
All right, I like the conspiracy theory. We should have done that as a conspiracy theory on the show instead of on deck. But I applaud you for your story, Drew. Thank you. All right, I'll round out upper deck for us, or on deck, whatever we call this now. Who knows anymore? Here's what I got for you guys. What's that?
I said you're the only one who gets it wrong.
I know, every single week. I get everything wrong every week. Like, I don't know why this is new to you. All right, so baseball's back, Scott. It's happening. It's going to be a real thing that goes down. And Toronto has a little bit of an issue that they need to work through. So we talked in your story about other countries doing things properly and doing things the right way. Apparently, Canada is not messing around when it comes to the Rona. So what they are doing is, if somebody breaks quarantine, they are subject to a $750,000 fine and jail time. You could get jail time.
Shit.
Yeah,
Good.
if you break quarantine, you could get jail time, and this is like, basically whenever somebody travels in, they have to quarantine for 14 days. So basically, Toronto isn't allowed to leave their hotel because they're going back and forth from the United States. So essentially, if a Toronto Blue Jays player is caught outside of the ballpark or the hotel, they could be fined $750,000 and face jail time. And same thing for any team coming into Toronto to play. They would have to quarantine, and if they are seen out, they could also face the same amount. Now, this is 750,000 Canadian, so it's like $12. But point being, you could.
Yeah, but dude, that's a lot of poutine.
That's a lot of loonies and toonies, baby.
God, I love those things.
There's a coin shortage here. Can we borrow some?
Dude, yeah. Oh my God, that shit cracked me up. I heard about that at work like 2 weeks before it broke on the news. I was like, you for real? Like, well, who cares about coins? And then it became real news. I was like, oh.
Well, here's who cares about coins, Drew. Those of us that understand that
Coin
COVID is
collectors?
caused by 5G, and Bill Gates just wants to implant us with the vaccine and then institute a cashless society and take over the world because the Illuminati runs everything.
Wait a minute. If he implants me with a vaccine, do I get better cell coverage?
Yeah.
Or I'm in.
Yeah, that's
Shoot
what
me
I'm
up.
saying. Like,
What
hit me
you
up.
need? Where you putting it?
So anyways, Toronto,
for all I care.
they are potentially looking at playing all of their games in Buffalo at their AAA stadium now to
Wait a
avoid
minute, so real quick,
potentially going to
is
jail.
$750,000 for regular ass fools too?
Yes, if you
shit.
break quarantine, so if you come in from the U.S. and you don't quarantine for 14 days, $750,000. Some of these guys aren't even going to make $750,000 this year. Can you imagine getting busted breaking quarantine and then you're docked your entire
I
year's
applaud
salary?
Canada. Good for Canada undoing that, but more importantly, good for the players who don't have to play in Canada. Now, I know Marshawn Lynch once upon a time like tried to hype up Buffalo, but I mean Buffalo's better than most places in Canada. Like, they got that Applebee's that he talked about.
Bro, have you ever been to Tim Hortons?
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Like a lot.
Okay.
I think Drew just quit the show. I think
It's the Panda Express of donut places.
Damn. And on that note, we're going to get out on deck. On deck, brought to you by Dugout Mugs. Again, use the code dugoutmugs.com/craft to get 15% off that entire order.
Sell out.
The best part is when I want to mute Scott, nobody can hear him. So only Mike has the magic override power, but Scott, don't fuck with me in Tim Hortons, man. That shit is baller. You're allowed to speak now.
Matt says I need to figure out the exchange rate. Well done, Matt, on that one. Bizcuit chiming in saying that's a lot of poutine. Stick around, Bizcuit. We got your Quantum Leap segment coming up here in a little bit. Matt pointing out they are going to play in Buffalo, so that I don't know if that's a done deal now, but that's awesome. And then Jenny saying we should talk about MLS and the hell is Real Derby. Nope.
Jenny, I would, but that shit wasn't even worth it. Let me tell you. Actually, no. Hold on, man. I'm gonna lean in this minute. Nope. Hold on. We're coming here. We're gonna do this.
We're gonna do
Jenny,
this.
All right?
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do this right now. We're gonna do that soccer. Because I'll tell you what, I was pissed as shit. I put so much goddamn time into that fucking soccer game to get that shit. Like, let's be honest. I didn't expect FC to score. I didn't expect us to win, for that matter. But let's be real. That was the most disappointing, waste of time piece of shit I've ever seen. I stayed sober until about 10:30 at night, put in a bunch of time setting up a projector outside, freezing my balls off in the pool, trying to watch these assholes play some soccer, only for them to just shit all over the field. They couldn't have played worse if they had the Rona, for Christ's sake. Like, garbage. And let's be real here too. Your boys didn't look that good either. Like, they didn't. Now, to be fair, they'd been off playing for like 2-3 months, but still, like, Jesse Zardis couldn't have fucked up that goal if he tried, and he did, because he did his like sneaky little chip thing. And if Teton, my Polish boy, wouldn't have fallen flat on his ass like he had a dildo up his butt crack, maybe he would have saved it. I don't know.
It's an unprompted Mookie doesn't know.
Mookie
I
doesn't
know.
The only thing I will give credit to Columbus about was after that piece of shit flopped because someone touched him and tried to play defense after he ran through 4 of our defenders, and our 18-year-old took him down because he was pissed at all these old men just shitting around, and he had to put up all this crap because he ain't getting the Rona because he's 18. That was a nice spot kick. And the game could have ended there, and it would have all been fine, and everyone would be all right with it, because that thing was dope.
We haven't talked sports on this show in months.
I know. This is weird. This is a weird feeling. Like, sports talk is
I have no idea
strange.
what's happening right now.
Drew, real quick before we get out of Mookie Doesn't Know, how bad is FC Cincinnati going to lose tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.? They got Atlanta, I think, tomorrow morning.
They are going to lose. So, all right, how about we do this on the Kanye scale, right? What was it?
From new workout plan
to
Touch the sky.
Touch the sky.
They're going to lose so bad, it's going to be George Bush don't like black people.
I think that was actually a great moment for Kanye. Horrible moment for everybody else, but great moment for Kanye.
Also, fantastic,
that's how it's going down.
Fantastic moment from Mike Myers too. That awkward confusion in his face was the greatest.
His face.
Oh,
I still see it every time I think about that moment.
When he's just like, and then it cuts away. Oh, so good. All right,
thank you for supporting Kroger. I appreciate it.
Let's do some would you rather, guys.
I will say real quick before we get into that, I would pay dozens of dollars to hear the producers in Mike Myers' ear at that moment. Like,
yeah,
what the hell are they saying right
no,
there?
The producers in his ear it was the exact same reaction as Mike Myers. Everybody just went, and then they were like,
George Bush don't like black people.
Somebody in the back was like, cut to two.
Yeah. That's where they needed their own Joe to go, moving on. Would you rather?
All right, would you rather? Here we go. So this is what we're going to do for this one. There's been some stories that happened this week, so we're going to talk a little bit about those stories and then present a would you rather question based on those. So obviously, big news this week is Washington has announced that they're changing their nickname, retiring the logo. Finally, after how many years it just took FedEx being like, hey, bro, I ain't going to pay you anymore. And Dan Snyder finally was like, oh, okay, I got you. We'll change that. We'll go ahead and change that. They don't know what it's going to be yet. Also, really shitty announcement on their part on Monday to come out and be like, we're changing it. See you later. And that was it. That was basically the extent of what they announced.
I mean, Mike Piazza held a press conference to say he wasn't gay. So, I mean,
that's a good point. That's a good point. Press conferences can be pretty stupid. That's a good point. All right. So here's the would you rather question based on
that story.
You don't remember that?
Yeah, because I paid so close attention to baseball when I was younger and had better things to do.
I mean, that wasn't even baseball. That was one of those stories that was everywhere. Like
Yeah.
that was ubiquitous, bro. How about that word? Dropping
Nowadays,
it
you
on
would
your
just,
wonton.
TikTok yourself banging some chick and be like, "What's up now?"
Or you would just Ron Mexico it and be like, everybody who knows Mike Vick knows how I get down.
God, one of the best things Mike Vick ever did was, and I remember this so clearly. Monday Night Football, they were doing their like intro whatevers, and they asked Vic some questions like, I don't know, like what's your favorite food? Like what game do you remember the most? And I don't know why the hell this question came up, but it was like, how do you get away with 2 girlfriends? And Mike Vick goes, 2 cell phones. And that was the walk off. And then whoever was calling the game was like, all right, so it's 2nd and 7 here from the 35. Falcons with a 3 wide receiver set. And I was like, no, nobody. Okay.
That's as smooth as it comes.
If he said that on Family Feud, I would have been like, good answer, good answer, good answer.
Oh, we got this.
Number one answer. Number one
Ding,
answer.
ding, ding, ding. All right, so here's your would you rather as it relates to the Washington football team. Would you rather your favorite team changes their nickname or your favorite team changes cities? I wish Joe was on this week. I picked this one specifically for him because I wanted to see his reaction to that. But, Scott, would you rather your favorite team changes their nickname or they change cities?
I don't really care because I don't root necessarily, but I would rather keep the nickname. They can change cities. It doesn't matter what city they play in. I'm a little team, baby.
Scott's teams, they can only get closer to him, right? Like,
I mean,
That's a good point.
I'm looking for less flights, less drives.
I was
so
say,
yeah,
like, I guess your 8-hour drive from the Braves, maybe that's the closest.
That's a
it
good
really
point.
is.
Would you rather Xavier changes from the Musketeers, or they're like, guess what, we're closing
that's
down the
racing against French
Cincinnati
people.
campus and we're moving?
Now that one I would rather the campus stay here and they change the name.
See?
I don't really care.
See?
Like I'm not married to the Musketeer name.
I'm kind of with you. I'm not a big fan of the Musketeers. Doesn't really
Yeah, I mean
strike
it's
fear.
fine. It's okay. I mean I
the
am, but
guy
it's not a big deal.
No, never mind.
No, go ahead. You were
going
gonna call me out for being the blue blob? Is that what you were about to do right there?
I was going to expose a little bit.
Is that what you're gonna do? Yeah, yeah.
Says the guy who was the mascot.
I was
I'm
the
not
blue
married to the
blob,
name.
and I wish they were the Xavier blue blobs because that would have been way cooler. Also, I would have gotten more TV time if they did that instead of that damn Musketeer just clapping and doing the number 1 sign in the camera. Bullshit.
God, what an
Drew,
asshole.
Drew, what would you rather happen? Your team changes their nickname or they change cities?
I'm going to go nickname because, again, a little different than Scott. Most of my favorite teams are here or they're close enough. Like, I love South Bend. I think that's a great atmosphere. And honestly, like, it's cheap as F. So getting up there is easy. Paying for things is easy. Same thing with all my Detroit teams. I don't want them moving anyways. So yeah, they can change the nicknames. I mean, if the Red Wings ever changed, I'd probably be a little bit upset. I don't think the Fighting Irish are ever going to change because there's already too much money invested in that. And the Pistons and Lions and Tigers can all suck a dick. So whatever, go for it.
Comments are coming in. Robert Taylor saying he'd rather they change the nickname. Ed saying bye-bye Xavier. He's a UC fan, so he's happy to see Xavier leave. Biscuit pointing out as a Browns fan, this question hurts.
Cincinnati could finally be king of the city.
That's the only way they could be
They'll still
king of the
lose to
city.
Cincy
Burn.
State or something. Trust me, they'll figure out a way to screw this shit up.
And Matt Barr agreeing the Niners can only move closer, so keep the name. I also don't really care about the city aspect of it. Although I would be hurt if the Reds left Cincinnati. That would be a bummer. But if they change from the Reds, I wouldn't really care. So I guess I would say I'd rather they change nicknames than change cities.
But they know there's no other city that would support their dumpster fire more than all the idiots in this town. So why would they leave? I mean, think about it. Half the city still loves Pete Rose, even though he fucks teenage girls and is okay with it and cheats at baseball and bets on it. But they all still love him for some reason. Why would you leave this city?
Moving on.
We
No,
talked
wait,
a
I don't
little
want to
bit.
move on yet. I want to hear what Biscuit says though. As a Brown fan, this question hurts, sure, but like, where do you end up on?
Yeah,
the side
what do
of
you
it?
do? I feel like he would rather them change nickname, right? You'd rather if you're a Browns fan and that's your number 1 team, you'd rather they change nicknames than move to Baltimore, especially when they win 2 Super Bowls like after that or win a.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. So we talked a little bit about college football scheduling and the issues coming up with that, specifically Notre Dame. I know Drew saying ACC got him. This is a perfect time for ACC to be like, by the way, now you got to join full time or else fuck you. You ain't playing this
you
year.
want to talk about this dumbass take again? All right, go ahead, Mike.
Here's the would you rather question, you son of a bitch. Would you rather your favorite sport comes back, but your team isn't allowed to play, like Notre Dame, or your favorite sport doesn't come back at all?
It's easy.
Okay, you've got the floor then, Drew.
I would rather my favorite sport comes back and my team can't play because let's be honest, all my teams suck. They weren't going to win anyway. So really all you're doing is saving me pain, heartache, and stress, and honestly, my liver. So I want dude, I've got friggin' Ultimate Frisbee from 2018 on TV right now. I will watch fucking anything. So just give me sports, give me quality sports, and I don't care. I'll find a different team. I'll root for anyone. It doesn't matter. I just want to see some sports. I need to bet on things. Like, let me be honest. It's very uncomfortable to me that my betting account is this high because I accidentally got drunk the other night and bet on some esports. And I don't even know what that is. Like, give me sports. Give me competitive sporting events that are actual sports and not like hot dog eating.
Scott, are you agreeing with that one?
I am absolutely selfish.
Yeah.
So if my teams aren't playing, fuck each and every one of yours. If my team can't play, it's a deal breaker on other. And look, I've spent more time than I should probably admit staying up till 3 a.m. In my youth, my bachelor days, watching the Dodgers play anybody, just because I could hear Vin Scully and it was baseball, and I love watching baseball. But these days, and even back then, if you told me that I couldn't watch the Braves at any point during any of that, fuck it. I don't want it. You can keep it away again. No 49ers, definitely get rid of football. That's an easy one. And the Kings, I don't watch them now, so the NBA can go somewhere, but I don't even really necessarily have a team. So if it's not my team, F it. Don't want to bother watching it.
Because see, what we're glossing over here is if there's no sports, Scott is just going to keep watching the Jordan Dachshund stroking down every night. Like, he's good, man. Scott ain't hurting at all right now.
I mean, but to be fair, sports or no sports, I'll watch the Jordan Dachshund
stroke down.
I mean, like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Biscuit did
It'll just
confirm.
take longer before replays.
Biscuit did confirm nickname is what he'd rather them change. He'd rather them be the Cleveland Rockers instead of moving again. Also, Matt Barr saying no football it is. JB chiming in from YouTube saying sport comes back, hockey before the team. Okay.
Spoken like a true hockey fan. Respect, JB.
Yeah. Matt Barr did
because the
clarify.
Wings still suck.
Matt Barr did clarify saying he would have agreed with you, Mookie, before the Niners got good again, but now that the Niners are good, he doesn't want to miss out on a chance. And Robert Taylor saying no football at all, and his team is about to three-peat. Pump the brakes on that one. I am going to go with...
didn't they just one-peat?
Yeah, but right, he's saying they're about to three-peat. He's calling the three-peat. He's calling
I just
the
wanted
dynasty.
to be clear that he was calling that two more still to fill his shot. Hashtag
Yes.
LeBron things.
So here's where I struggle with this question. Part of me wants to say the sport, I'd rather the sport doesn't come back because I am like you, Scott. I want everybody else to be miserable. If I have to be miserable, everybody has to suffer. But on the other side of it, I could always hold it over people's heads and be like, Notre Dame would have won if they got to play. They didn't get to play. I mean, they would have been the best team. And I would totally play that card every fucking day. I'd be like, this national championship doesn't matter because Notre Dame didn't get to play. They would have won this one. This is an asterisk. You get an asterisk.
It's totally the Xavier undefeated since 1973 gag.
Don't care.
It's not an actual
Yeah, except those
thing.
Don't care.
dumbasses lost when they brought the club team back. They got destroyed in like 3 games, so that doesn't even hold water.
I mean, I'm just saying it's the same thing though. Like it's a weird flex. Like,
And I would
Xavier
pull
does it
that
tongue in
every
cheek, but
single
I
time.
know Mike would be dead serious about it.
100%. I'd get T-shirts
The
made.
season was tainted because
But see,
Notre
here's
Dame
the-
began to play.
I'd get
Here's the
T-shirts
problem,
made that
Scott.
said they would have been national champions. There's no doubt about it. I'm fucking stupid.
Yeah, because
Amen.
and the thing is, Scott, if you ask him in his heart of hearts when he's like a half bottle of Jameson deep and it's the true serum coming out, he would admit he knows we wouldn't win shit because Brian Kelly is still our coach.
Yeah, no, I mean he
Right.
knows that they would.
It'd be like the
that's
weakest
part
flex.
of the gag. It
Still-
would be, but I mean,
Yeah.
I
Still
would
gonna say they would have won.
He-
so
I was gonna say, but he'd die on the hill.
So that's what I'm going to say. The sport can come back just for the fact that I can then claim a national championship for Notre Dame.
He's FAU in it all the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. State champs.
All right,
State champs.
listen.
Or
Beat
at
IU,
USF,
beat
USF.
Purdue.
Sorry, I got my Florida school.
There are tons of players opting out of their seasons. There's
no bit. Yes,
umpires.
Glenn Pleasant with the mud hen shirt call out.
There are okay, so there's tons of players opting out. Who knows what's going to happen with these sports when they actually start to play and a major spike in COVID happens while teams are trying to play. So what I want to know,
because a major spike in COVID hasn't happened yet. Good call.
No, I mean like within the bubble. Like what happens when the bubble gets COVID and then they're like oh
I
shit,
said when they cancel these sports because it's not going to happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, so what would you rather happen? Would you rather your team's best player opts out of the season, or your team's best player breaks quarantine at some point and then has to sit out for 2 weeks before he can play again? We're talking shortened seasons here. So like,
so you talking like MLS, NBA, NHL right now because they're in the bubble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we don't know what NFL is going to do. We don't know if they're going to shorten the season. We don't know if they're going to So take NFL out of
face
this.
Guards.
Oh, that's true. They are. Except for JJ Watt, he's going to opt out if he has to wear a face guard.
Oh yeah, because he's gonna feel like he's hyperventilating or something.
I can't breathe in this thing.
I can't. No, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna show my cards, and if you guys hadn't noticed, I've never actually played real football. And he said that when he wore I know, right? Is that surprising? That strikes you as weird, doesn't it?
I'm blown away by this news, Drew.
Friggin'
I didn't know we were
take
dropping
right
two
here.
truth bombs.
I know. I'm sorry. It is a little early, but I got to be honest. This loud pack. I was gonna say loud stack, but I knew that wasn't it. It's got me feeling good. So I'm gonna open up here and I'm gonna show myself. I'm gonna show you how I bleed. And I've never played organized football. And when JJ Watt said that when he wore a visor, he felt like he was hyperventilating, blew my mind. Like I can't imagine that shit's that restrictive.
It's surprising, but I've never played at a high level. Listen, when I played,
Hey man, you wore pads and a helmet, right?
When
bro?
I played Pee Wee football, I wasn't allowed to wear a visor because the helmet was too big for my head, anyways. So I couldn't put anything.
Well, and Papa B said only pussies wear visors, right?
All right, what do you guys?
He didn't go one bar. He went no bar.
What do you guys
like
want?
a man, son?
Do you want your
Lead with your
Get in
head.
there.
Lead with the crown, baby. That's how we do it, Burlons.
Do you want your favorite player to opt out of the season, or do you want them to be out for 2 weeks?
I'm already dealing with that, so I'll take the 2 weeks. We'll just go ahead and sign up for 2 weeks. This opt-out thing makes it even less legit. I mean, like whatever happens, because I mean, you're joking about, oh, if my team wasn't, but like seriously, these teams are differently constructed, and the Braves signed Puig because Markakis and a couple of guys opted out. It's like that's what we're looking at, where it's just like,
Wait a minute.
Well, now teams are making moves, and it's changing the dynamic of what the team would have been. I mean, yeah, you can say injuries and shit, but it's just when they're completely not playing it lessens the value of the season in general.
All right, everybody is chiming in here on the chat. They're all
He's
saying
got
2
a great
weeks.
point too, though. He says, "Give me the 2 weeks because Gino Auriemma can carry a team for 7 games." And he's absolutely right. With his coaching prowess, he can get a team through the bubble.
2 weeks is okay. Fair enough. Let's condense this a little bit then. Instead of just 2
just
weeks,
gonna overlook the fact that I said Gino is Gino Auriemma and JB's talking hockey.
I wasn't listening to you. I was waiting for my turn to talk.
Oh, okay, good. So like standard practice on the show.
Good
Nice.
radio. Good radio.
Let's go, team.
What if the 2 weeks are right before the playoffs?
That's fine. He gets a rest.
No, like they
so
would
this-
overlap
but
the
this is
playoffs.
weird.
Like the
So how
2 weeks
how
are the
playoffs
playoffs. Like right before the
legitimately
playoffs
gonna happen?
start.
They're not going to, because none of these games are going to.
I know, Scott. We
Oh
get
my
it.
God,
We
Scott,
get it.
shut
Okay,
up.
we get
Like,
it.
We get it. You don't think any sport's going to be played. America's going to go in the shitter, and then we're all going to die. Great. Okay, moving on from that.
Assuming it does happen.
Assuming it does happen, are we still playing NBA playoffs where we play game 1, then wait 4 days and play game 2?
No, they've got to go. They're going like quick on this one because they're TV contracts and they're trying to prepare for next season too. They're trying to get next season started around the same time, which is bananas anyways. But let's say it's the day before the playoffs start and your player breaks quarantine. Would you rather him have opted out, or do you think they can go 2 weeks without the best player on your team in the playoffs?
I think it depends on the sport.
It absolutely.
NBA, no.
I was going to say in NBA, you're probably screwed.
In the NBA, you're probably screwed. In the NFL, you're probably screwed. That's 2 playoff games that you don't have your best player.
No.
Baseball, you're probably the only one where it's like, all right. I mean,
You've got enough, right? You've got enough behind
Baseball,
you.
yeah, baseball let the dudes sit out 2 weeks. Hockey let the dudes sit out 2 weeks. NBA just quit originally, you pansy.
Like, imagine if Jimmy Garoppolo, the best player on the 49ers team, breaks quarantine.
Probably one of the top 5 players in the league, to be honest.
Who is going to step up and fill Jimmy Garoppolo's shoes? Because as we all know, Jimmy G's got the juice. So 2 weeks without Jimmy G, you think they survived the playoffs for 2 weeks without Jimmy G? Come on, dude.
Dude, if Madden brought back the QB vision on play action, the whole field would just be brightly lit up like a motherfucker with Jimmy G. Dude can see actually, it would highlight the receiver for you to throw to.
I love that Scott
press that B button, yo.
Scott won't even respond to this. This is amazing. All right, here we go. Let's move on from this one. Tommy Tuberville, former UC coach. He won a GOP Senate runoff against Jeff Sessions.
He's a more successful politician than Bearcats head coach.
He actually is.
Let that sink in for a moment.
Yeah, because his win percentage is 1,000. 1 for 1,
That's
baby.
a good point. All right, so with him upsetting Jeff Sessions, I guess. I don't know if it was an upset. I have no idea. I don't follow Alabama politics.
Well, let's see. We had one guy who had done things in politics before, and one guy who hadn't done shit but coach football.
That's a good point. It's a pretty big upset.
No, it's not, because it was in Alabama. So basically, Jeff Sessions lost like he should have.
In Alabama. All right, here we go. Would you rather your most hated sports figure, the guy from sports or girl that you hate the most, wins an office that directly affects you? Like all of a sudden, Derek Jeter is the mayor of your town and gets to make laws that will affect you specifically. Or your favorite athlete has a very vocal political opinion that doesn't match yours. This came out this weekend. Jorge Masvidal went to his fight wearing like a Trump mask, and people went crazy about it. So they realized that Jorge Masvidal is on that side of the political spectrum, and then people jumped off ship real fast for him.
Wow, imagine that. Someone that gets beat in the head for a living having a bad take with reasoning.
He actually got beat in the foot, like a lot in that fight. It was weird. It was a lot of foot stomping. It was a very
in that
strange
fight he did. You're right.
This one's easy because athletes are generally stupid, and so their political opinions I don't really care about. But I don't want anybody that I hated in their career directly doing anything that would screw me over. Like, I don't know, coming in and trying to gut your team so that he could make a higher profit on it.
Whatever are you talking about, Scott? That seems like a very cognizant point with an example in hand.
Derek Jeter and the Marlins, baby. I would not want somebody I hate like that. That's the correlation there. Is it's like it's the same way. I wouldn't want Derek Jeter to be part of my ownership group because it would piss me off every time that something happened and be like, "This is your fault, Jeets. Why we win in Jeets?"
Or when they win, you know that Jeets gets credit for it. Ooh.
Oh God, it'd be the worst. I'd be like, nah.
You can't. You lose no matter what.
Oh God, it'd be the worst.
I am agreeing with the comments that are coming in on this one. I don't really care what my favorite players' political opinions are. Just win for me, please. Just go out.
Well, because most of them are dumb. Like it's
the easiest thing ever. Yeah, exactly.
It's just like the whole pre-draft thing with the defensive rookie of the year. I don't care if he was a Trump voter. Does he get sacks? Yes, he did. That's all that mattered. Helped us to a Super Bowl. That's all I cared about.
So the most important thing here in all of this conversation is I need to say, hi, Harper. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate your mom letting you watch this show that's full of all kinds of putrid filth.
I was going to say, should Harper be watching this show?
Nope, probably not.
Okay,
but
cool.
She's Michaela's daughter, so she was going to learn this stuff anyway.
Oh,
so
hey, Harper. Really well, good. Harper, this would you rather question, this came from
really pointing into, your growth as a young woman, as you mature into a beautiful person that I know what you're going to be. Also, those puppies are amazing, and I'm super jealous. But the key to this is, unless you're the U.S. women's national team, no one gives a shit what you have to say. Like, just go win football games, go win hockey games. Everything else is secondary. Unless you're going to endorse a really good food place like a restaurant like Panda Express that we should all support.
Oh my god.
Because they have a quality product.
Wow.
That's where I would draw the line. Nick Bosa could wear a shirt that says Black Lives Don't Matter. And I'd be like, sir, I don't think you should wear that shirt. But as long as you're getting sex, it's fine. But if he came out wearing a Panda Express t-shirt, I'd want him traded tomorrow.
All right. Tell Harper to turn
What
off
would you
the
take
show.
for him in that situation, though, Scott? Like a first rounder, or are you just saying just get him out, bag of balls?
No, I mean, I'd still want direct compensation. I'd be like, we're going to need a couple firsts.
Couple first.
All right, tell Harper to
Come
turn
first
off
and a
the
third.
show because this next question came
For sure.
from Glenn in the Craft
Again,
Root
you know
Sports
her
Facebook
parents will be
group.
fine, Mike. She was doomed.
No, I know, but this one's a little rough. Would you rather have one giant dick for an arm or all of your fingers are dicks?
Does the dick shoot jizz?
It doesn't have balls, it's just a dick.
So no jizz from any of the dicks.
No, just a dick.
So there's no jizz involved. It's just literally I've got dicks.
I'm kind of confused. Like,
Last week we talked about BLTs with yellow tomatoes, and this week we're talking about dick fingers.
dick fingers.
We have a
Do you
wide
want-
range here. That's all
Do
we're
you
showing,
want dick
Scott,
fingers
right?
or a dick arm? That's the question here.
Look,
Here's
when we
what I
go and
feel
sell
like.
this show for syndication, this is gonna be one of those quality segments to show our
Guys,
range.
quality
right? So-
content right here. This is our Instagram live for this week, or our Instagram TV. All right, so here's what I'm thinking on this one.
But wait, so there's no jizz that comes out.
No jizz, but they can get
jizz.
hard, which would be awkward if you're just like all of a sudden your left arm just shoots out in the air. It's like, good
Yo, 'cause
lord,
here's the problem.
what happened
'Cause
there?
You get hard and it's a Hitler salute.
You're trying
That
to
seems
like
a bad
right.
idea,
You're
Mike.
trying to like tuck it in.
Yeah.
You can't tuck it in. You can't tuck in your arm.
Oh, there ain't no tucking. Does it go straight out to the side? How would it? How
You
would
just
that work?
scarecrow it, baby. Just
I don't know. JB wants to know if they're
Remember
sensitive.
when we talked about that one guy that was going to
that's a good
animate
question.
segments for us?
Yeah.
Can we animate this segment? I just want to see what a dick like an arm would look like when it's stiff.
Okay, here's the other question. A dick arm stiff is going to be weird, but think about 10 dick fingers, but only
Also,
like
Michaela is still watching with their children, so I don't think we have to worry about any of this shit.
yeah, imagine dick fingers
Their
that all go
futures are
hard at the
ruined.
same time. You're like, I can't do anything.
Not
My fingers
even
just-
that.
or
What
my
if
fingers
they
just
just-
wrecked.
but you could pick your nose so well.
But what if they just randomly go hard? So all of
How
a sudden,
big is the dick?
normal finger size or your normal arm size. It's just a dick.
Huh.
So like imagine like just randomly 3 fingers get hard. So
Is
you're
my
just
thumb a
standing there
dick?
and all of a sudden it's just like, this is weird. And you're trying to like,
Oh, so basically you have Parkinson's. That's really rude of you to ask this question, Mike. Very insensitive.
Wow, this got awkward.
Yeah, right.
Also this, I had to
Just
specify,
now it got awkward.
I had to
After us
specify
talking
for,
about dick for fingers.
I had to specify for Alex Schubert in the group. He was asking which arm, because that was a very thing. I
That's
said
fair. No, that's a fair
it's your
question.
dominant arm. It's whatever you
Yeah,
write
why
with.
didn't you share this show, Matt?
It's your dominant arm, and you have to put the pen in the dick hole in order to write. So that's
Come on, man.
This is fantastic.
Scott. Dick
This is
arm or
so
dick
exciting.
fingers? Go.
So like,
Dick
yeah, go
arm.
ahead, Scott.
You want the dick
Yes,
arm?
I'm taking the
No.
dick arm.
That's
I'm gonna be my right arm just always gonna be out.
Drew, are you going dick arm or dick fingers?
I'm going dick fingers. I feel like I could do a lot with dick fingers.
Like what? What are you doing with dick fingers you can't do with regular fingers?
He's licking all the Cheeto dust off.
Oh, Scott, you know me too well, bruv. You know me way too well. Now with dick fingers, you can still do stuff because you didn't say dick thumb. You said dick fingers. So like I could still open a doorknob when your dumbass is like arm is like erect. You're like, well, I've got one hand, and so I guess I'm gonna have to put the beer down, then open the door, then pick the beer up. Like, nah, dick fingers all day. Wiping your butt would be weird, Dyson. That's a good call. Is that basically anal sex and now we're both gay? We
Let's
need
give
to
a
go
shout out
so
to our
bad.
sponsor,
We need to
More
go so
Labs, everybody.
bad. Yeah, for the last time ever, because they're
But
going to
then-
drop us after this one.
But what's even worse is when it's cold in the winter, you can't even wear gloves if you go dick fingers, man.
Oof. I didn't think about that part.
Shout out to More
I can-
Labs.
I can put a sleeve on this thing, baby.
Oh God, Michaela's right. With a dick arm, you could easily do a lot of great porno fisting films. Like, that's a whole subcategory in of itself. That's a new revenue stream, man. Mike, you would quit your... Oh, wait, you don't actually work. You could get paid to not do anything all day.
All right, thank you, More Labs, for sponsoring the show for probably the last time. If you guys want to get some
Undoubtedly the last time.
amazing drinks, they don't pay attention to the show. They don't care.
They really
It's
don't.
true.
As
They
long
really
as those
don't.
$1,000 orders keep rolling in once
Yeah.
a year, they don't give a fuck.
Go hit them up, morelabs.com. Use the code SPORTS. Get 20% off your entire order. If you're getting drunk in the middle of the week like we do, be sure to pick up some morning recovery so you can wake up and deal with it the next morning. Morelabs.com. Use the code SPORTS for 20% off your entire order.
Hey, I got another Morning Labs shout out here. So, you know what's the best part about them? Is you can get drunk in the morning, take a morning recovery at lunch, and then not be wasted at night. So you can keep drinking.
That's not a bad idea. St.
I mean,
Patrick's
right?
Day is, that's the way to do it now. St. Patty's Day, that's how you
Yeah.
handle it.
St. Patty's Day. Oh, you mean Saturday?
I was gonna say, you mean Tuesday?
I mean, right? Like, once like the workday ends on Friday, it's basically like a 72-hour blackout period until you have to show up on Monday.
It's
And
so true.
like, right? Like, so what
I'm
the
always
fuck else
sitting there
you can
Sunday
do?
afternoon, like, God, I gotta sober up. I've got to be to work at
Dude,
12 hours from now.
so I took out the recycling yesterday to get picked up this morning. I was like, man, like there's not a lot here. What's going on? And I was like, oh, that's right. We were at the in-laws for 3 days this weekend. So those 72 beers are in their recycling can. That's why we don't have that much shit here. Wow, we have a problem. Maybe we should talk to someone about it. Nope, we're good. We got morning recovery. No problem. We all good.
It's 8:49 and I finished a beer.
I know, dude.
I knocked my back 20 minutes
It
ago. I was like,
was-
do I
Holy
leave and try to
crap.
find
Yeah.
another one? This
It
shit
is
was
going down
amazing.
so smooth. It's
This is touching
it's
the
so
sky.
good.
This is the hashtag good life Kanye.
It's fantastic. All right, let's do this segment from Bizcuit. So last week we did a segment from Tyson. Tyson hit us up and gave us an idea to do. And shortly afterwards, we said, if you guys have an idea, hit us up and let us know. And Bizcuit was quick to hit us up with this idea where he said, quantum leap. You get to quantum leap into any sports moment in history. What do you do? This led to an interesting talk after the show when we were off the air, when Drew immediately wanted to go to the Bush Push game and pull down Matt Leinert's pants for some reason. That was like his immediate go-to was, I want to go to Bush Push and I want to pull down.
Man, I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, that's exactly what you
I
said.
remember it because my first comment was you could go to any sports moment and your moment was go to a moment where you could pull another man's pants down.
You know what though? But
Yep.
honestly, Scott, that doesn't sound like me. I feel like I'm being set up here.
Sounds exactly like you.
All right, so we decided to do this with each sport, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer. You get to go to one moment from each of those sports. Scott, take us to your first one.
My very first NBA moment, I'm going to 1997-98 NBA Finals, Game 6, to watch Jordan hit the final shot to sink the Jazz and win that 6th ring, baby.
Okay, but what if you quantum leap into one of the Jazz players?
Oh, that's fine. Then I'm moving out of the way. Like I'm
Oh,
gonna
you're
quantum leap
just
into,
giving it to him.
I'm gonna quantum leap into Brian Russell,
If you
and I'm actually just gonna move out of his way. You're not gonna have to have any of these idiots who said that I got pushed off on.
what if you quantum leap into Jordan and you miss the shot?
I would do that.
Are you? What?
You can't control who you quantum leap into, Scott.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You can quantum leap into Jordan, but you still have his body. It's going in.
You still have his
100%.
That's
body,
what I'm
but you don't have
saying.
his
I'm like,
talent.
I would make the shot. I
You don't have his
wouldn't
talent.
miss the shot.
Ridiculous.
You
shit
look
you
in the
saying
mirror
over
and
here.
you look like Jordan, but that doesn't mean you are Jordan. Scott Bakula had a lot of trouble having to walk in heels when he would quantum leap into a woman's body, guys. Come on. What are you doing? You don't get his talent. You have to then
What?
set
What do you
history.
mean? I'm
you
in
have to-
Jordan's body. I have my
you
mind
just had that
in his
physical.
body.
You have that physical skill set. You have your mind, exactly.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
talent.
So you have Jordan's muscle memory. That's all you need. Like, bro,
If,
gonna hit
if
that
I'm
thing every
Jordan, I'm
time.
hitting the shot. If I'm anybody else, if I'm on the Jazz,
just
I'm
watching.
moving out of the way and letting it hit the shot. If I'm anybody on the Bulls, I do exactly what I did.
Wait, what was it? What?
I do exactly
what year
what I did.
was
I
it
sit
where he
there and
hit
watch.
What year was it that he hit the shot over the Jazz with the push off on Elon?
That's this one.
That's
It wasn't
that's
Elon.
okay.
No,
Elon
then
Musk.
You said on Elon.
Did he?
You
Did
mean
he play
on-
Elon
You
Musk?
mean Craig Elo against the Cavs, not against the Jazz?
Where he
Hey,
didn't push
Elon.
off?
To be fair, at least I
Yeah.
added a letter when I mispronounced it. Okay,
That's true.
I
one
did
time.
add a letter. Yeah, Swanton. I would quantum leap into that so I could just bitch slap Elo and still make the shot because they ain't calling that foul. And there's me no doubt about it ever again that, yeah, I bitch slapped him and knocked the shot down. We won. What are you going to do about it? Because that's the kind of balls Jordan has and the kind of champion he is.
All right, what's your basketball quantum leap moment, Drew? What are you quantum leaping into in the basketball world?
In the basketball world, I'm going to quantum leap. And I'm trying to figure out which side I want to be on in this one. I almost want to say I want to be on the Xavier side, but I want to quantum leap into the crosstown shootout where Kenny Freeze got knocked the F out. And I know that we're probably going back to this more than we should, but like I do. I want to quantum leap into that and be one of his teammates and be able to stand over his body and Chris Rock say, "You got knocked the F out," and just laugh at his dear ass like also, stumbling around the court.
Scott, I got you on this one. Chris Tucker, not Chris Rock. That was Chris Tucker.
I was just gonna let it go. I was like, this dude started off with his wrong pronunciations, and it's just. I'm like, I knew which black guy he meant. It's cool.
You white as mayonnaise, Drew.
And you know what the worst part was? Is as I was saying, I was like, yeah, that's wrong. Because I pictured him in my head as like, yeah, that ain't the right guy.
Yeah, wrong guy.
Push on through and hope
both black,
notices.
both comedians, both
both named
voices,
Chris.
but swinging.
Let's hope that none of the 12 people
name.
engaged in this show right now understand how I fucked that up.
Nobody cares. Yeah. All right, I'll save you, Drew. I'm going to pivot for you. This is where I'm going. I'm going to the Cleveland Cavs championship parade, and I hope that I quantum leap into J.R. Smith's body just so that I could take off my shirt and be drunk on that parade float for like the entire week. J.R. Smith was the highlight of that Cavs championship team only because of how drunk and shirtless he was the entire time. I would love to hang out with him and booze it up with J.R. Smith on that championship parade. Let's do.
Are you sure he was drunk, or was he just being J.R. Smith and finally like didn't have to hold it in because the season was still going on?
That's good. That's a good possibility.
Because if I was that tatted up with like fresh looks,
oh my god, JB for basketball says he would be a cameraman in the hotel in Denver. Moving on, Scott. What do you got, football world?
That feels like a really targeted quantum leap too, so you'd be able to like fairly accurately aim it.
Yep.
Right?
Scott, where you going football side?
A bus boy with a cell phone cam, even better. Anyway,
Because you get to eat the leftovers.
Yeah, for football, I want to quantum leap into Des Bryant at the moment that he doesn't catch that football and they call him out of bounds, so that I can tell the ref he made a great call and that I was definitely out of bounds. And there is no reason for Cowboys fans to bitch at all about it because I was clearly out of bounds and it was no catch.
That's an amazing idea. Just to be Des Bryant, to be like, there is no controversy. He got it right. Let's put it to bed, and then they can never complain about. That's the best.
Just go over and give the refs a pat on the butt. Good call. Good call.
That was good one, ref. Good one.
And then you come out the next day and say, you know what? I'm ditching these adult braces and getting Invisalign.
I mean, we can do a laundry list of things at the time, but I definitely want to be there for the moment to make sure that nobody can whine about that call.
That's amazing. Drew, where are you going, football world? Where are you quantum leaping into?
I'm sticking with my original one. I would be
pants
Reggie
and Matt
Bush,
Leinart.
and I pulled down Matt Leinart's pants and ruined the Bush and screw SC.
I like that.
Fuck them bitches.
I like that.
I also eat a dick. And you know what?
Up.
I don't care. Y'all can talk whatever shit you want about it. I don't care. I'm still gonna stand by that. I would shove a finger up Matt Leinart's butthole if Notre Dame wins that game. I don't care. Don't care at all. The things I broke in Coleman dorm on that night that I don't have to worry about admitting now because statute of limitations are over and I have to pay for it. Worth it.
I would also go Notre Dame game, and I thought maybe going to the goal line stand in 2012 that sent Notre Dame to the national championship game, but I was like, nah, let's not do that. Instead, I would want to go.
Fuck it up.
I would want to go to the 1988 Catholics versus Convicts game, and I don't care. I don't care who I become in that game. I just want to be. I want to be in the locker room because ever since I heard Rocket Ishmael tell the story of like the fight that happened, and they bring them all into the locker room, and then Lou Holtz comes in. Lou Holtz, who had some really, really bad takes this week, by the way. But anyways, he supposedly comes into the room.
He was hacked. That wasn't him. He was part of the Elon Musk, Bill Gates, whatever hack today.
He was in Wonton with Elon.
and Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
He apparently Lou Holtz came into the locker room during the Catholics versus Convicts game after the fight, and he said, "Go out there and leave Jimmy Johnson for me," and that fired everybody up, and they got all excited. And I just want to see Lou Holtz say the words Jimmy Johnson, that's it.
Mike wants a 30-second quantum leap.
After that, I'd be like, Al, I'm ready to go.
Boy.
Al, can I go now? I heard him say Jimmy Johnson. Let's go. Let's break me out of this one.
And then you realize you got the Rona because he just spewed spittle all over the entire locker room.
All right, Scott, where are we going in the baseball world?
This one I had to do for me, and again, I'd be selfish with this one. I'm quantum leaping into Jim Leyritz in Game 6 of the 90s, or in Game 4, I would think it was, of the 1996 World Series, and I'm swinging and missing at the Mark Wohlers pitch instead of hitting a 3-run home run, so that the Braves can become back-to-back World Series champs. Because if they hadn't blown that damn 2-0 lead that they took back to Atlanta, and that Leyritz hadn't hit that damn home run, they would have won that series, and the Braves would have been back-to-back champs. So I'm swinging and missing at that pitch on purpose.
All right, I'm gonna jump in here just because I have a similar.
Because I got the walk-off on this one.
I have a similar idea. I'm gonna go to when the Reds got no hit by Roy Halladay in the playoffs, and I'm just laying down a bunt every single time I come up to the plate just to break up the no-hitter. I just don't want the no-hitter, so I'm just bunting every single time. And then that way it goes down in history as Roy Halladay has a one-hitter in the playoffs, and maybe he doesn't die later in life. Drew, what do you got?
He'd totally die still. It's unfortunate, but he was addicted to drugs. I'm going to choose to be Justin Verlander after the Astros won the World Series before he nails his wife, Kate Upton.
Before or like as he's nailing his wife, Kate Upton?
No, well, like, like when it's about,
because that'd be
happen,
weird.
You know what I mean?
But here's
like,
the
I
thing:
want the lead up to it. Like, I want a little bit of that foreplay, a little bit of that champagne, but I want to be there for the main event. You know, what
quantum
I'm
leap
like,
rules.
I don't need
normally,
to be there
though.
for the free prelims, but I want to be there for the prelims that you are there on the pay per view. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to zap in right about that point.
Quantum leap rules, though, normally Bakula got pulled out right before the good stuff started happening.
Oh,
so,
dude, there's no pulling out here. Are you kidding me? Because if I'm quantum leaping in, aren't some of my DNA in there? Like a little slide, Wyborski slide.
Drew, why don't we go to you first for soccer? Where are you going in soccer for quantum leap?
I want to be Thierry Henry when Arsenal goes invincible and goes an entire season as an undefeated squad in the EPL. I want to be him when he just rides that shit out in all the British pubs. And, well, he Kate Upton's a bunch of fools.
Scott,
do you have the cat daddy dance on?
Scott, do you have a soccer place you want to quantum leap into?
I absolutely do. I want to quantum leap into Alex Morgan. That's it. Any moment, doesn't matter what sports moment
idea.
it is. It could be a Tuesday, or maybe I want to quantum leap into her that day that she got kicked out of Disney World at drinking room.
Oh, that'd be a fun day too, because
really
you'd be
good day.
hammered as F.
Yes, and
like still getting that celebrity treatment.
Yeah, exactly.
The best I could come up with on this one was quantum leaping into any U.S. women soccer player body during the 13-0 drubbing of Thailand, because I feel like even with my skill set, I could have scored against Thailand that day. So it's just like, just pick one. I'm probably getting a goal, and that's going to be pretty sweet.
And then you could grab booty, right?
Yes, right.
Something you don't know much about. I do want to call out that Bizcuit said that he in baseball would quantum leap into Steve Bartman and back the fuck up. Which I think is also a great take.
You know what? I need a bathroom break.
Matt Barr saying,
peanuts? Yeah.
Matt Barr saying that I started off saying you can't choose who to quantum leap into, and then I changed it into I'm going to be everyone and bunt every time. That's not what I said. I said I will be anybody on the team and I will bunt every time. Not I'm going to be every player. Listen up, Matt Barr. Don't try to change the rules here. Bizcuit also saying he'd leap into Ernest Biner and not fumble. And Matt Barr said he wanted to quantum leap into the Cal Stanford game and pummel the trombone player at the end of the play.
Be the dude that just like plows into him.
We saved
But
hockey.
same rules apply there. That could be tricky because you could be anyone.
You could be the trombone player.
You could be a dude taking a piss in the urinal that was like in the concourse
and missed it. Oh, what? Yeah. How bad's that guy feeling?
Oh, that would be the worst.
He's going to feel so much worse because his friends he was there with are going to roast his ass for the next 30 years. I'll be like, hey, you remember when you missed that iconic college sports moment because you had to shit that one time?
All right, let's do hockey. Who's calling walk-off on this one? Anybody calling walk-off for hockey?
I am not calling walk-off on this.
Mine's too straightforward.
All right, I'll go with mine as the walk-off then. I'm not feeling that strong about it, but if you guys are that anti-walk-off, I'll take it. Scott, who you going with on hockey? Why are we ending on hockey? What the fuck? How did this happen? I feel like we should have led with hockey.
America.
Hockey should have been.
This one is just for Drew too, because I'm gonna quantum leap into Patrick Roy. When they fought
I appreciate you said his name right.
Yes, when they fought with Chris Osgood and beat that ass against the Red Wings, the mortal enemies, the Colorado Avalanche. So I'm going to be Patrick Roy getting to throw blows at Chris Osgood.
Drew, what's your quantum leap hockey moment?
Sorry, I need a minute. I have a lot of feelings right now. So he's got me feeling warm inside. For the record, one of my dogs is named after Chris Osgood for a good fucking reason. I was going to say I want to be, well, again, if we're going to listen to Matt Barr and his dumbass rules, I can't actually say this, but I want to be Stevie Y when the Wings win their first cup under his tutelage, just because how great would it feel to resurrect a legendary franchise? Hashtag Cubs things. Hashtag those other teams that won titles after a long drought, like not the Reds because they'll never win again, but the Red Sox. You
dick.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna quantum leap. This one was a very iconic hockey moment for me. And I feel like this would be the perfect one to quantum leap into. And I would hope to maybe leap into the goalie or potentially the guy that had this shot. But I would quantum leap back to when the Hawks were playing in the championship game and Gordon Bombay had a penalty shot and he missed the shot, and somehow the rules of hockey ceased to exist because if he hit that shot, they would have won, but he missed the shot, so they lost. And I don't understand how that's physically possible because, they were tied, but they weren't really tied. Anyways, point being, that shot ruined Gordon Bombay. It led him into this really crazy. I would love to go back and save him from himself at that moment.
But then we don't get the Mighty Ducks.
It really ruined Gordon Bombay.
We get it different.
To be a very successful lawyer at a top-end law firm in Boston, making lots and lots of money.
With a horrible drinking problem, Drew. A horrible drinking problem.
Is it a horrible
he's
drinking
American,
problem,
Mike.
He's got
he
a
didn't
lot
have
of
a
money
drinking problem.
It,
he had a drinking and driving problem. His dumb ass just didn't know how to drink and stay at home like a responsible adult.
Can somebody explain to me, though, how that happens? Because they say he needs to hit the shot to win. He misses the shot and they lose. So were they tied or were they not tied?
I feel like it was,
shot would be to tie
it. Must have been
right?
behind in a shootout. Yeah.
No, yeah, I feel like it was a shootout thing where to be able to win, you have to keep it going on.
Shootout. Didn't consider shootout as an option in PB
Well, that's
hockey.
why I was wondering you were asking that question, but I was like, I thought you were asking it from the aspect of it being 1992 and there weren't any shootouts in junior.
No,
high.
I have no idea if there were shootouts in junior high. I don't know if there's shootouts now. I have no clue.
Wednesday are the new Thursday, by the way, if you're going to try to talk shit about drinking problems.
No, he's just talking shit about me, and that's fair. Matt Barr can talk shit about me. Bizcuit, thank you for the idea.
You've been blacked out in 4 days. So
it's been a while since I blacked out. It was Tuesday was the last time I blacked out. Oh, wait, it's only Wednesday now? Cool. Matt, thank you. Bizcuit, thank you for the idea. This is a fun segment, Quantum Leap. If you guys have any ideas of segments you want us to do on the show, hit us up. You can find us on Twitter at Crappy Sports or slide into them DMs here on Facebook. We got you there, too. Do you guys want to do this burst in the bubble thing, or do you want to move on to...
We can, but I want to say we need to get a drop for these listener segments because these have been
I know,
solid,
man.
I
got
last 2 weeks. Also, I would like some more clarity on Quantum Leap things because I've honestly never watched it because I get mad because it's not quantum physics or quantum mechanics.
How have you not watched Quantum Leap?
Because he's just some stupid idiot actor from the 90s doing
Whoa,
terrible
whoa,
segments of
whoa,
22
whoa,
minutes of footage.
whoa. It's Scott Bakula. It's not some stupid actor from the 90s. Put respect on his name, dude. Scott Bakula.
Look, man, all I'm saying is there's no Ralph Macchio, so
I mean, that's fair. When is Cobra Kai season 3 coming up, guys?
Not soon enough, damn it.
They need to get this on the. I think it's coming to Netflix, right?
well, because honestly though, Mike, how are you going to go record Cobra Kai 3 and be 6 feet apart? That's the tough.
It's already done. It's done. It's in the can.
Oh shit, are you for real?
Yeah, it's in the can. They've already
I
recorded
thought
it.
they just sold the rights. I didn't think they had the next season like produced.
No,
and
it's
everything.
done.
No, anything that you see coming out mostly this year is like already done before this whole thing started. They
Well,
were
no, I
like
get
in
that, no.
post production.
Billy-
so.
no, Billy
I thought the
Zabka-
announcement was they just sold. They sold the.
No, they were finding a new
sold the
streaming
franchise
home.
or whatever.
They were
Yeah,
finding
no,
a
they
new
were
streaming
ready
home.
to go.
Billy Zabka had tweeted out back in like February that he finished his post-production audio, and I was like, "Great, here it comes," and then nothing. Ridiculous. All right, let's
you know
do.
what I want to see though is I want to see a Karate Kid with Barney Stinson and Billy Zabka telling it from the point of view of the bad guy.
So you want
Like, I want
Cobra
that.
Kai? That's
I want
what
the
you.
Cobra Kai Karate Kid. No, not Cobra Kai. No, not Cobra Kai. Not the Cobra Kai TV show. I want to see that entire film.
Oh, you want the
reproduced,
movie
edited.
redone? Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, they keep flashing back, and you're seeing it kind of from Billy Zabka's point of view. It's like
Oh, that's
reflecting
great.
back
so you
on
want,
it.
Cobra
Oh, I've
Kai.
literally never watched a single instant.
Bro,
I don't
you
know
need
where
to
find
you
it.
get on
idiots.
Cobra Kai. It is fantastic TV.
It's so good.
All right, I'll
man.
download it tonight and then probably watch it in like a month and a half.
You don't even have to do that. It'll take you like 3 days to get through all 2 seasons.
Yeah, because I thought I was gonna long play it, and I ended up zapping through it quickly. It was so good.
It's
I'm
fantastic.
working back through Big Bang Theory. It's a thing I got to deal with.
Ugh. All right, let's
You're so white.
bust this
I'm
bubble.
smarter than you. That's all it is.
Let's bust this bubble. So we talked about this a little bit earlier.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm just rushing through. All right,
You-
we're
It's fine. Don't take the bait. It's
running
cool.
a little long. That's all. All right. So there's been an Instagram model that's already come out and said she was invited into the NBA bubble. And then there was a Kings player who, quote, accidentally left the bubble to get some carry out and then had to
Gotta make that
quarantine
food run,
for
baby.
10 days. So the question is, and we'll just do top answer, what's something that you would break the bubble for? What are you breaking the bubble for? I'll go first. I would break
Panda
the
Express.
Jesus.
Fuck
I'm
you,
gonna go-
Scott. Sorry, I said it.
I'm gonna go with the super dad answer. I just want like 5 minutes of quiet. Like if I could leave the bubble to be able to shit in peace for 5 minutes, I'm breaking that bubble. Sorry,
like
team.
a really nice bathroom.
Not even
with
that.
no
I don't even need. It
interruptions.
could be a porta potty. If nobody's gonna bother me for 5 minutes, cool. Like let me break this bubble. I'll quarantine for 10 days to get some peace and fucking quiet. Matt Barr saying booze. Scott, what are you breaking the bubble for?
Dude, I'm opting out, so it won't take me much. They can give me a bag of Cheetos and be like, "Peace, I'm out this bubble." Like it doesn't have to be much. 'Cause
What? I'm on the outside?
I'm already opting out. But if for some reason I found myself in the bubble, it'd be for like anything. They'd be like, "Yeah, you got to stay here," and I'd be like, "Cool, all right. Well, I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm gonna make
Dude.
a run."
That's a great idea. Like, are they penalized if they have to then quarantine? Like, do they lose?
So they
game
actually
checks?
are. So what's his name? God, what is the guy that broke the bubble? Whatever his name is that if they were playing and you're quarantined, you lose a game check. So if they had been playing, that shit would have cost the guy, I want to say it was like 75,000 American dollars.
Oh.
So basically the equivalent of, if you break quarantine in Canada. But you don't get access to poutine or Tim Hortons. So, way
So
that
it's a
for what
win?
it's worth. Says Scott, but not most people that have flavor buds and taste. I need to know though. So, like, is there a time limit on how long I can break the bubble?
You can't break. It's as soon as you break the
can't. I was
bubble,
gonna
it's
say, I was
broken.
like, you can't leave.
No,
it
no,
all.
but I mean, do I only get 5 minutes, or is it like I break the bubble, have a time outside, and then I come back in and I face the punishment?
Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever.
It's the same
what would
punishment
do?
no matter what.
Yeah,
All right, cool. Then I would for sure break the bubble for my favorite Chinese buffet / Americano buffet. It's the best place ever.
Panda
It's called-
Express.
No, it's not Panda Express, Scott. Now, come on, now, put some respect on this name. It's east of Anderson, and it's called the All American Best Buffet. And this shit is amazing. They make pizza, they make ribs, They make crab rangoon. They make General Tso's chicken.
Do they make wonton?
They do make wontons. They have a whole tray of wontons, my friend. They also have a chocolate fountain.
Do they
with
make
several-
apricots?
You dick.
They may have some dried apricots, but they call them
Apricots?
that
Yeah.
you can dunk into the chocolate fountain.
I hope
And
they can
so-
get over the language barrier when I
Guys,
get
if
there.
you want to help us out, head on over to craftbrewsports.com/shop. You can rep the show. You can get some gear. We got t-shirts, tank tops.
We
gotta
can get that
get
hi
these-
hat that
You
Mike's
get-
wearing,
Calls out
y'all.
No.
Mike's mispronunciation.
the hi-hat is out of stock. Enough people
What?
bought the hi-hat. Look at
Oh,
this crazy hi-hat. People want to rock this hi-hat.
So you mean we sold 3 of those things? How
I
the
don't
hell
know.
did that
Like
happen?
they're gone. They are out. Every hat is out of stock on the shop. But you guys can head on over craftbrewsports.com/shop. Hit that up. Help us out. Rep the show. Spread the word. Do all that good stuff.
You could get
Rock
you
a
could get
hi-hat,
dope ass
bro.
shirt like Scott rocking that red.
Yes, the
with Craft
red
Brewing
Craft
Sports
Brewing
logo
Sports
right
show.
there.
Oh,
looking
that's so good.
Shit, it's so
fine.
crisp and so clean, baby.
All right, fellas. Since all that we have right now is FC Cincinnati losing in horrible fashion, I have not really been paying too much attention to sports, so I've been catching up on other things. And the one thing that I'm finally catching up on, this was something that
Yo taxes.
I did that. I paid those today.
Boy.
But Scott was very disappointed in me that I had never seen a Marvel movie. None of them. I've
Yes.
never watched a movie from the MCU ever. So I decided I'm going to watch the Marvel movies. I am watching
Well,
them.
Disney Plus helped push that along.
Disney Plus did help push that, although I did rent The Incredible Hulk to make sure that I watched it. Despite you saying you don't have to watch The
Who
Incredible
the
Hulk,
hell rents movies anymore?
everybody who has a streaming account and can pay $3.99 and be able to watch it within like 30 days of renting it, and then it disappears from your phone.
I thought you just get that shit for free.
I
With
mean,
the streaming account.
I
Isn't that
don't.
what Disney Plus is? You get all that crap.
They
for
don't
free?
have it. No,
They
nobody's
don't
got
have
it
Incredible Hulk that's
because The
why.
Incredible Hulk is such a
Oh.
terrible movie. Nobody wants to put it on their streaming platform.
Well, no, it's owned by Universal.
Sorry.
So.
I thought the MCU was all on Disney Plus.
That's what I thought too. That's why I
no,
started
not
this.
the whole thing. There's all sorts
There's
of rights.
Spider-Man
that are-
movies that
I
are
gotta
on
be
there,
honest,
too.
I had to come clean too. Mike was like, "Oh, I'm working my way through the MCU," and I was like, "What the fuck is MCU? Is Jack Bauer back?" And then I got shamed and went silent for like a day and a half.
You did. You just disappeared on
I
that
did,
one.
I did.
So
yeah.
what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna break out some MCU power rankings, and I
for
thought
the movies
originally
that you've seen.
I've only
right?
seen Phase 1. I've seen the first 6
Okay.
movies in the MCU. So I've seen Phase 1. I've seen from Iron Man through Avengers.
See, you already messed
should-
it up because you just said you saw Incredible Hulk, so it would be from Incredible Hulk.
Wait,
Should
that
I
one.
take the
Are you?
headphones
Wait,
off?
hang
Are there
on.
Spoiler alerts here.
Hang on. No, no spoiler alerts. Hang on.
All right, word.
Did the Incredible Hulk really come out first?
Yeah, it came out earlier.
Because
Iron Man.
everything I found said Iron Man was first, then the Incredible Hulk. They were both in 2008 though, so maybe it was just by a
Oh
couple
yeah,
months.
okay, maybe I'm misthinking that. I was
Are
like,
you
but it could
are
have
you
been
watching them?
Okay.
Are you watching them in chronological
I'm
release?
watching them in
order or
release
narrative
order. Release order.
Oh,
Because I want to experience it. I'm doing the same thing I did with Star Wars. Star Wars, I watched in release order. I watched the original trilogy
I
first,
respect
then
that.
prequels,
Yeah.
because I want to have the same experience that the fans had.
Well, and you educate your kids the right way too. Is that this is how Star Wars started?
Right, this is what
Then
Star
George
Wars
Lucas
was.
fucked it up with the first trilogy that he put in episodes 1 through 3, and then he tried to make it up to us with episodes 7 through 9, but still kind of missed the mark.
Still haven't seen 9.
There's an intention. There's a reason I haven't seen 7 through 9.
I know Scott was
you know
upset with 9, so that's why I haven't watched 9 yet. I'm waiting
It
for my
can't suck
son
if
to
you
get
don't
to that
watch it.
point. All right, so here's what I did for these power rankings. I was originally going to be like, let me do my power rankings of the first 6 movies, which would have gone number 6, The Incredible Hulk, number 5, Thor, number 4, Captain America, number 3, Iron Man 2, number 2, Avengers, number 1, Iron Man. That would have been my rankings.
which is almost the correct
whoa,
order.
whoa,
Avengers
whoa.
is better than Iron Man. But go
Whoa,
ahead.
you Avengers. See, it was all right to me. It was fine. It was fine. It just wasn't. Iron Man was solid. I liked Iron Man.
No, Iron Man is easily the best of the Phase 1. That's sure.
Yeah. Okay. So it would be right.
No,
in
I
me
mean
having
like
them as
better
number
than
one.
like it just when you're talking about the solo movie.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right.
yeah.
But I decided that's too cut and dry. Nobody really cares about that. So I decided to do the
Oh,
power
you're rating
rankings.
the Kanye West scale.
Yeah. Well, I decided to do the power rankings of Stan Lee's cameos in the Phase 1 movies.
Ooh.
I thought that was a much better way to take this, right?
Yeah.
That's a little bit more
rest in
intriguing.
peace, by
All
the
right,
way.
so let's
no kidding.
Lost a legend there.
All right, so let's go through power rankings.
Do you think Stanley nailed more dudes than Hugh or not? Oh,
Whoa,
Wow.
wait.
Okay, you're
hang
done.
on.
You're
All
done.
right.
Take a power 5 on that one, sir.
I'll be right back, guys.
I love that he's really leaving. That's amazing. Drew literally just left. For anybody listening to the podcast afterwards, Drew just got up and left after that snafu. You have no idea how many times I've wanted to do that. All right, here we go, Scott. Here's the Stan Lee cameo power rankings.
Okay.
Starting at number 6, The Incredible Hulk. And if you don't remember, that's when Stan Lee drinks the soda that has Bruce Banner's blood in it, and he just drops it. It's a terrible cameo. Like it's a very quick. He doesn't really say anything. I think he says like, "Oh, that one's got some kick" or something like that. It's a bullshit cameo. Terrible.
Yeah.
So just like the movie Incredible Hulk, worst of the power rankings. Number 5, The Avengers. If you don't remember that cameo, it's at the end of the movie. They're doing like a pan of people talking about the Avengers saving Manhattan. It gets to Stan Lee. He's playing chess in the park, and he was like, "Superheroes in New York? Give me a break." And then he turns around and goes back to playing chess. Horrible. Way too quick. Almost
right.
as bad as The Incredible Hulk, but not quite as bad. So that's number 5. Number 4, Iron Man 2. In Iron Man 2, Tony is coming through its first-person perspective of Tony. He's introduced to Larry King, who's actually Stan Lee. Kind of funny based on the how he was introduced in Iron Man 1, but you're rehashing the same kind of joke. Knocks you down a peg. Number 3, Captain America. In Captain America, Stan's sitting in the crowd when Captain America is supposed to be getting a medal. Steve Rogers is getting his medal, and the guy comes out to say that Steve Rogers isn't there, and Stan Lee says, "I thought he'd be taller," which did make me chuckle. That was a pretty good line.
That was a solid one.
It wasn't bad. I kind of liked that that happened, but not great. Number 2, Iron Man, and this is why Iron Man 2 dropped. In Iron Man, Tony Stark says hi to Hugh Hefner, and it's actually Stan Lee. He's wearing a Hugh Hefner smoking jacket, and he like turns around. Apparently, there's a deleted scene where Stan Lee corrects him, and he's like, "Sorry, I get it all the time." I prefer it how they released it, where it's just like, "Hey, Hef," and then Stan Lee turns around and looks. Number 1, Thor. That was a quintessential Stan Lee cameo when he's trying to pull out the hammer. I don't know what it's called. What's the hammer called?
Pull out the hammer.
Sure.
Yes, he's got it attached to his truck, and he tries to pull it, and the truck bed falls off, and he just leans out the window and goes, "Did it work?" And everybody laughs at him. Dead. I was dead at that one. There is the official Stan Lee cameo power rankings for the MCU. Do you agree?
Yeah, no, I agree. That's a pretty solid way to rank them too. And I had actually blanked. I was sitting there trying to think, and I could recall all of them. And then you got to Thor, and I'm like, crap, I forget which one, because Thor is one of those MCU movies that I think I've seen twice. Yeah, it's not very
so
good.
bad,
There's
bro.
nothing really very memorable about it, except for Kat Dennings being in it, and you're like, why is Kat Dennings in this movie?
Boobies.
Yeah, but other than that, I completely forgot about that Stan Lee cameo. But that's a really good one. That one holds up though, and knowing all the cameos to come too, that one holds up.
See, that's what I was going to ask. So, like, is this going to be? I don't want to say weekly because that puts a lot of pressure on Mike to watch more movies.
There is no
week by
way I
week.
can do this weekly. It's
Yeah.
going.
But I think it could be a recurring thing, and you could drop in and do
next
like
time
the next
just every
Stan
time you get
Lee's.
through a phase, like we'll go through. 'Cause
Yeah.
you finish phase 1, so once you get through phase 2, you can re-rank them.
Now, do I have to include phase 1 when I rank phase 2, or like is it cumulative,
No,
or am I
I
doing
think you do
phase
them
2 on
independent.
its own?
I was gonna say let's
Make it
keep
simple.
2
Because that could
phases
get
that way.
really long. if
Yeah,
I'm trying to do
exactly.
all
I
of
was
them.
gonna say it gets insane. It's just like ranking the MCU movies.
All
now.
right,
There's
maybe
There's
at
like
the end.
40 of
At
them or
the end,
something,
I'll
right?
do all
There's
of them.
23, I think.
At the end, I'll rank all of them. We'll do them in phases, and then after
then
I
at
get
the
through
end,
all of
they'll
them,
rank all of
I
them.
will
That's
give
fair.
all of the Stanley cameo power rankings. Dude, I gotta be honest. I missed the boat. I'm digging these movies. I don't
told
hate
you,
them.
they're
I don't.
awesome.
I don't hate them. They're
You know what's better though is
Also, Captain America's
honestly,
underrated.
Captain America is underrated, dude.
So underrated.
Although the like as a character, I like him. The original movie, I wasn't a huge fan of.
See, I think that his movie is underrated. Like, I don't think it gets enough props.
I feel like it doesn't get the props that it deserves because.
But just you wait though, because it doesn't matter, because Captain America 2 blows everything out of the water, and Captain America 2 is like the best MCU movie. So you're in for a real treat.
Drew, are you excited now to watch MCU movies?
Yes, because I have Disney Plus access. The one thing I was going to say is that I do hope that, honestly, like I've heard about Ted Williams' head being frozen. I honestly hope we've done the same with Stanley, because we need more of them. Our kids need our kids need to know about him and these kind of things. But I will say, as much as the movies are great, honestly, like I've gotten into and try to get into the comic books, or I'm sorry, the
graphic novels
themselves, because man, those things are awesome. Like, it's the writing, the storytelling, it's so deep and so rich, and the way that you hear the different arcs and the different universes. I will be honest, I've never been huge in the MCU, but I've done DC a lot because I'm a big Batman fan in all those different arcs. And I don't know how the traditionalists feel about it too, but like reading a graphic novel now on like a smart device, whether it's a tablet or a phone, is actually pretty slick, because the way they'll animate it, or the way they'll stack the graphics up, is actually pretty super cool. And at the same time, the storytelling is just fantastic. Like, the way they tie all this shit together over decades amazes me. And
that's what I was
at the same
most.
time, it's a lot easier than reading an actual fucking book with a bunch of words in it that talks about dumb shit like Little Women.
Wow,
Jesus
just
Christ.
taking shots at Little Women.
Damn it. That's what I was most impressed with the MCU, was how it all, like the tie-ins to all of it was so impressive to me.
Well,
and
and again, get
one.
ready, because it gets even smoother. Like, you're just scratching the surface of their interconnectedness. Now, there are a couple that you can argue it's frivolous and it's kind of just setting up the next movie, or like it's, they're just doing it because they can. But they get so good at it that you expect it. But they do it so well. Like, it's seamless.
And it was different when there were graphic novels, where too is like, oh yeah, I bought a $5 magazine essentially, and yeah, sure, it was setting up the next one, so it wasn't that big a deal. But it probably feels a little cheaper, whatever you want to call it, when they're producing a multi-million-dollar movie just to set up another movie. But at the same time, like, they go all out with this stuff, and the costumes, the special effects, the storytelling, the acting is so top notch that it's highly entertaining, if nothing else.
I got to be honest. The one thing that I'm very happy about is that I'm finally done with phase 1, because I hate all the backstories of like, this is how I just want to I just want to see shit blow up. Like, just tell me this is a superhero.
There's not too many solo stories, but there are a couple that are later on for like the lesser known characters at the time. So
yeah,
I want to ask though, just out of curiosity, how, if you had to give a percentage of minutes watched, what was the percentage of minutes watched that your wife was awake for?
0.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
maybe less than 0.
My wife's has watched all of them. I think the only one she hasn't seen is the most recent Spider-Man, and she's seen that through osmosis with the kids. But
wait a minute, okay, so point of clarification. So Spider-Man's an MCU? I thought he.
Yes, Spider-Man is MCU, but he doesn't come in until.
But he doesn't cross over with the Avengers or any of that shit at all, does he?
Yes, he does.
Whoa! Spoiler alert! Whoa!
Dude,
some of us haven't seen these movies that have been out since 2008. Give me a fucking break, fellas.
Hey man. To be fair, I play the video games. That's basically it.
It's been 12 years.
Game, I know shit about it.
I've avoided this for 12 years, and you guys go and ruin it tonight for me, you sons of bitches.
Well, hey, Mike, just grab a drag off that fireball. You'll be fine. I don't remember anyways.
That's a fair point. No, I will.
Until you wake up tomorrow after realizing you didn't upload the podcast episode. I have to watch the shit all over again.
That's gonna happen. I guarantee you.
All you get paid by work to do it.
That is. So I will. I do have to say, when I was watching Iron Man 2, it was late at night when I started it, and I ended up falling asleep during the movie. And my wife had woken up at some point during the night. And the next day she was like, what were you watching last night? Now, normally when that question comes up, I am in trouble. I've done something wrong.
She's like, why would you put porn on the big screen? In the
It's
living room,
always,
Mike?
but it's
Come on,
like,
man.
but that's what happens. Like I
What'd you
fall
have a cell
asleep.
phone for?
I fall asleep watching TV or watching a movie, and then she wakes up, and
Or
inevitably it's a sex scene, and I'm in trouble because she's like, "What the fuck were you watching?" I'm like, "What's not porn? I swear to God, it's on Netflix." But she woke.
God,
She
can
was
you
like,
imagine if Netflix had porn? They would make so much money. You know, they're just holding their back pocket though when things go south. They're like, all right, we need a new revenue stream. Porn it is. Also, I'm super jealous that you just have this fucking big ass thing of Fireball.
Also, Netflix will never be able to sell, like, they'll never be able to do an add-on for porn because you can get porn for free on the internet. So they're not adding on porn. Like, nobody's going to pay
There's
extra
a bunch
for
of
it.
idiots out there that still pay for porn. There's a reason it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
That's a good point. Anyway, so my wife says to me, "What were you watching last night?" And I was like, it was Iron Man 2. I fell asleep. I'm sorry. It's a Disney movie. It's on Disney Plus. I swear to God. And she was like,
Wholesome
"It
stuff.
was actually a really good movie." And I was like, "Say what?" And
You mean you woke up,
but
sat down, and watched a movie with me right next to you,
And
passed
Iron
the fuck
Man
out,
2
and you didn't wake
isn't
me up
even
for
one
quality
of the
time?
good ones. That's
But
hilarious.
here's the problem. I sidestepped immediately, fellas. I was like, "Yeah, it was. I'm getting through it. I'm watching all of these." And she was like, "Do you think I would like those?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. Probably not," because I knew the next question was going to be like, "Let's watch them together," and I would never get through the Marvel universe.
Oh, because you'd have to be awake to watch them.
Yeah. So I was like, "Nope, I don't think you're going to be on board with these."
It's a good thing
well
that
played,
honestly,
sir. Well played.
our wives' understanding and consumption of this show literally exists in the shit Cheryl hears in Scott's like background. That's it. Alex doesn't watch shit. Jenna doesn't watch shit.
Yeah, I got the
Sometimes
I
Cheryl
got the
happens to
look.
walk
When,
through, and that's it.
yeah, I got the look when
Like-
I said I'd quantum leap in Alex Morgan.
That's you'd be like, I thought you're supposed to be upstairs right now.
I like out of context. It's like, what the hell?
Right, because
is
context
last
would have
call.
helped Scott.
Right,
I'm
that doesn't
sure.
help at all. This is Last Call, brought to you by Tavor. If you guys want to get an order of beers that requires the delivery guy to use a hand
Get
cart,
the hand truck, bruv.
like
Yes.
Drew did today, 66 beers delivered to his door from a poor guy with a hand cart, a dolly that he lugged up to Drew's driveway. Head on over to Tavor. Use the code 258023 on the payments and credit screen. You get $10 off your second order. So order one beer the first time around. Then the second time when you get 66 of them, use that $10 off coupon 258023 on the payments and credit screen. This week we were drinking. What was the name of this beer, fellas? I'm losing it. Loud Pack. Loud Pack.
Yeah.
Loud Pack from Blackstack Brewing. It's a mouthful, is what that is. 8.3%.
Like we all knocked
ABV.
this down in like 20 minutes.
Dude, we
man. This shit was
crushed this
amazing.
beer. We crushed this beer. We were doing this one on the Kanye West scale, from new workout plan all the way up to Touch the Sky. Scott, I think I know how you're going to answer this one, but go ahead.
Touch the sky.
Okay, good elaboration on that one, man.
I don't need anything.
Yeah.
This beer was great from the moment I cracked it open and got that first smell till 40 minutes ago when I finished it.
Yeah.
This is one of those IPAs that I wish I had at least one or two more of. It's fantastic.
It's so
Oh
good.
my god, it was amazing.
Drew, where does this one rank on the Kanye West scale
It is.
for you?
It is the good life. It is the good life, which is still forever going to be my quintessential Kanye song. Shout out Michaela. But like, this thing was amazing. It was smooth. It was fresh. It had that citrus flavor, but it wasn't too tart or too sweet either. It was just fucking smooth, man. It had hops, but you didn't taste them in a bitter sense.
Nope.
I mean, I can't wait to go back downstairs and like thumb through all my boxes just to find out that there's no more of these left, because I know there's only one. Because when today was like, what are we drinking, guys? And like, I couldn't find it until I found it at the bottom of the one box. Like, this shit was amazing.
I am
It's
gonna.
a DDH2. It's a DIPA. It's a double IPA.
It's a
Wow.
double dry
Yeah.
hop double IPA is what this one is. I'm gonna
God
rank
damn,
this
is
one.
amazing.
I'm gonna rank this one what I originally had the scale set at the top of Runaway.
Preach.
I thought Runaway was the best Kanye song. That's my favorite Kanye song. So this is what I would put Loud Pack at. I would put it all the way up at Runaway. Fantastic brew. Everything you guys are saying is 100% true. All of the flavors are there. It is so smooth. It's crushable. That 8.3, you don't even realize it's 8.3%. Next thing you know,
idea. I didn't know it was a DIPA or an 8.3 until just now.
yeah. Next thing you know, your cheeks are all red.
It doesn't leave you messy either, too. Like,
No.
Look at that
It's really
picture.
good.
Look at the picture at how freaking juicy that is. It is the hazy. Oh, it's so good. Such a good beer. Loud Pack from Blackstack Brewing gets top ratings from all of us here. Last call brought to you again by Tavor. Use the code 258023 for $10 off your second order.
Sell out.
Fellas, this was a show. We did it. This happened. It was a thing.
From hi-hats to dick fingers.
and we're hopeful that Joe still wants to come back next week.
He ain't coming back. Joe ain't coming back. He quit.
He's going to be like, fuck
He
this. I ain't
quit.
signed up for this anymore.
He was like, what the fuck did you guys just do tonight? I ain't coming back for this. But also,
Joe, we need you, man.
it's dick fingers is the answer, so you can still use your hand. If you've just got a dick for an arm, you don't have fingers.
Exactly. See,
You've
man,
got to
that's exactly
do dick
it.
fingers. Even if they get hard every once in a while and it gets weird, you got to go dick fingers.
It's not even a question.
Talk about a walk-off.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sticking with whatever the fuck we just put out here for you. Be sure to like the show on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Craft Sports, or on Instagram at the same handle. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We go live there too. Live on Periscope, live on Facebook Live. Hit us up. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. We're everywhere there as well. Thank you guys for tuning in, for sharing out the show, for supporting us. We really do appreciate it. I know we get goofy and it gets silly, but we appreciate that you guys stick around and like this dumb shit that we do. So thank you all very much. We will see you all next week. Cheers, everybody.
Good call, ref. I didn't catch that ball.